That was a shite clap. Honest to fucking God.
Absolutely
That's
horrid.
better. So, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Twat Talk, your 6 monthly installment. Uh, I'm here with another guest. I'll explain where I've been in just a moment, but I'm here with another guest. Here we have the man himself who's appeared in a couple of my videos. It's the Imperial Academy.
Hello.
Welcome in.
Hi. Yes. Happy to be here
This
today.
this lad does Star Wars content. Would you like to
Mm-hmm.
explain to the lovely listeners what it is you do on your channel?
So, where do I begin? So, I fulfill a specific niche on my YouTube channel, which is, as Rose just explained, Star Wars content. And that Star Wars content specifically focusing on the Empire, the Galactic Empire. But I do inject some other parts of the Star Wars universe into it. And yeah, I basically am what we call a Star Wars lore channel.
Mm. So you cover all the lore that the majority of people don't really tend to think about.
Well, they think about it, yeah, but like
Mm.
casuals don't.
Yeah,
Like
people, filthy
you've got
casuals like
like
myself.
yeah, people like you, Ross. They don't know jack shit about like any of the stuff that I cover in Star Wars, you know?
No,
Like, who was the Duchess of Mandalore during the Clone Wars?
I don't fucking
Unless you
know.
watch Clone Wars. I don't know. Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of the stuff. I can't cover kind of the hardcore stuff if you want to
Mm.
dig deeper into that
So
kind of
just
realm.
looking through some of your videos, I've noticed that as of recording, you have a 7-part series about the Imperial Navy.
Yes, I do. That is correct.
You mind explaining to me how there are so many fucking ships that it takes 7 parts to get through them all? And I'm just assuming that's not even all of them.
Oh, that's still an ongoing series. That series could be going on till I'm well on my deathbed. But like, yeah, there's not really that many. It's not
Mhm.
really. I've not even covered. I've only covered. I've not even covered. I have not even covered the ships yet, at
My
least
God.
individually. So I'm just like explaining like sub genres,
Okay.
sub niches of like the Imperial Navy.
Mm.
So like specific things that they do and shit and things like that. All that funky stuff. Yeah,
Hmm.
there are 7 parts because the Imperial Navy is, at least in lore, quite big.
Mm.
Quite big. That's the simple answer. It's pretty big.
So I guess from that jumping point, we will cover.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask you the question of like, who's your sort of how'd you start? Like, what was motivation for starting a YouTube channel at all?
Boredom.
Boredom.
Boredom. So it
Just
was
sheer fucking boredom
pretty much,
is why
yeah.
you started.
I at that point I had gotten out of school,
Mm.
so I'd left school, and because of COVID was all the rage. Everyone was getting that gift from their mothers and their fathers and their grands.
Everyone was getting the big C,
Yeah,
the big
the
C
big,
19,
the biggie C19.
Biggie C.
So I had you couldn't go anywhere, so I had nothing to do. So I was like, I'm gonna be a little bit scandalous and make myself a YouTube channel.
A little
And
bit scandalous.
yes, I would. I was feeling a little bit silly, a little bit goofy. And I was like, I'm gonna make myself a YouTube channel, and I did. I went for it. I
Mm.
the first time I tried it, I downloaded the editing software. I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do this. But then it stuck in my head. I was like,
Mm.
I actually do want to do this. So I downloaded it again, deleted it once more, downloaded it again. I was like, screw it, this is my kind of vibe now. And originally I was toying with the idea of doing like a sort of Star Wars kind of zoology channel. Is that correct? and that's
Zoology?
actually
Would
kind
you
of
would you like to explain what the fuck that means? Because I've not got a clue.
animals and monsters and stuff in
Oh
Star
right,
Wars.
so you were gonna cover like species on different planets and
Yeah,
such,
essentially sort of like that. Yeah, but I was like,
and then you decide to fuck that out.
I tried that with my first video,
Okay.
and I was like, the Empire. I like Palpatine. He's my favorite Star Wars character. I was like, I really like the Empire, and I like villains and stuff. So I thought,
Mm-hmm.
it's 2 years later now. I've made 51, 52, 55 videos.
55 videos. I've got it in front of me.
Yeah, 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been fun, and I've attracted an interesting audience, to say the least.
Yeah, they're certainly a breed.
Yeah,
is
so
what
my
I'll say.
audience seems to, for some reason, consist of like.
We spoke about this before, like outside of the
we
pod.
did.
I'd like to point out for the viewers at home, we do know each other in real life. This isn't another case of me
Mhm.
just bringing someone in that I've met online. We do talk. We have been in the same room.
Yes.
We've talked about this before, that the type of audience that you seem to attract
So like
with
I seem
your
to
with your
attract
content.
like Andrew Tateites or Tate-lites, like Hustlers University looking
Can we
mofos.
just point out, like, why would I don't understand, like, the fuck. I don't know how you've gathered that kind of audience.
I don't know. It's
Like, how do you
there's-
end up like, I'm going to cover all of the niche little topics of Star Wars canon?
I don't know.
I'm guessing that you don't just cover like the main canon. Do you also cover like expanded?
No, I just cover canon for the most
Okay.
part.
Yeah, we'll get into that part with a later part of the video. But
Yeah.
you cover Star Wars canon.
Pretty much.
In what
I've
aspect
proven, like,
does that cross over with the Andrew Tate Hustlers University fandom? Like, what the fuck?
good question.
Yeah. Like, what part of I'm going to cover the niche parts of the Star Wars lore goes, then becomes, I go to Hustlers University, I want to watch this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I guess I'm just like, I guess they just
maybe it's just a bunch of teenagers that are like, oh, I kind of like Star Wars, so I'll watch this stuff. And then
Yeah.
they also just so happen to like Andrew Tate.
I guess they just RTA me.
Sorry?
I guess they just RTA me.
I have no idea. I sound so fucking old. I don't know what you mean.
Respect the alpha.
Oh, respect. Okay. Fuck right off. Some bullshit, honestly.
You respect.
So, my next topic of conversation is the obviously on your channel you do green screen segments as well as sort of motion
Yes.
graphic type stuff, showing off
say that.
relevant images and stuff like that.
Yep.
So with the green screen stuff, you cosplay as, if I'm right in saying, an Imperial officer.
That's correct.
Is it a character, or is it just that you want to dress in the uniform, or is it like a character that you play that is imparting their wisdom upon the youth of the Empire?
Kind of both.
Bit of both?
So I should state that outside of YouTube, I do like cosplay. I'm a huge cosplay guy.
Yeah, we'll go on to that later, but you are a cosplayer outside of YouTube stuff.
So I was like, I want to incorporate this into my YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of going at it. I knew I was I just kind of built the character from scratch. It's not
Okay.
really like they don't have a name or anything. It's
Yeah.
just kind of, you watch the video and you suspend your imagination that you're some aspiring student of the Empire, and
Yeah.
you're
This
watching
is
this video to learn.
It's like you're being
Pretty
taught.
much.
You're being taught about all of the quote unquote good that the Empire does.
Yeah, the
and-
propaganda.
and this is your how, like, for example, like colleges, they have the
Mhm.
lectures, but then they also have like special guest appearance. I feel like
Pretty much. Yeah.
they occasionally bring in like, oh, there's this YouTube tutorial that's really good. Like, that's basically what your videos are.
Yeah, essentially. It's kind of. I'm like the go-to
Guest speaker. Yeah.
guest speaker, if you want to recall some form of
Yeah.
information. I've also got a little bit of an idea for a bit of a, how do I put this, a conspiracy of my
Ooh.
character, if you will. They are not as they
Oh,
seem.
they're gonna go through some kind. You're gonna incorporate like almost a story within the background.
No, they are.
No.
I want them to be a sort of Jedi in disguise, kind of.
Ooh.
You know,
Right.
because at the end of my videos,
Stay
I've been
tuned for
saying,
that in the
"Oh,
future.
may the force be with you," and I'm like,
Oh shit! Right.
That's
Okay.
not really accurate for the Empire. So I'm like,
No.
what if my character's like a Jedi, but
Yeah. So your character's got a story going on in the background. We shall
pretty
we
much,
shall say
yeah.
no more about that, for it may spoil the future.
Yeah, I don't
You've
have it
probably said
planned
too
out.
much already, so
It's an idea at this point.
it's a
So
decent idea, and I guess we can see like what will happen with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So one of the things I want to ask is, obviously there are a few other Star Wars lore channels. At
You
least
could
one
say
that
that,
I'm aware
yes.
of is Star Wars Explained is
Mm-hmm.
one of them. I can't really think of the others, but I know there are more.
Yep.
And there's obviously, from what I gather, there's quite a divide in the fandom on lore stuff, on whether or
Yeah.
not you cover canon or the expanded material. That I can't remember who, but someone who worked on Star Wars basically said, "Oh, that's bullshit. Never happened." Would you like
So
to go into any more details on that?
so like, I mean, the fans know what they want. I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
if they want like Legends content, all they got to do is search for
Legends,
Legends
that's what it
content.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. If they want canon content, then they know
Mm-hmm.
where to find canon. I mean, you've got people like big guys like Eckhart's Ladder and Star Wars Theory and
Mm-hmm.
Stupendous Wave and the Lore Master. They sort of cover best of both worlds, so they
Okay.
do. They're a bit different from what I do. They
Mm-hmm.
cover Lore Master, especially. He covers more comics and things
Right.
like
Yeah.
that. Who does he covers a lot of Star Wars comics and things
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Have
So
you have you ever had anyone come into your comments who was, because I know that within the fan there is sometimes that divide on
oh yeah.
stuff. And have you ever had someone come into your comments and be like, "This is all bullshit. You should listen to the expanded stuff." Blah blah blah.
Not necessarily, but I
No.
did have one guy, I deleted his comment on one of my videos. He said he was talking about um he didn't outright go bash my video, but he
Yeah.
more bashed sort of, he was saying, "Oh, Disney sucks, you know,
Mm.
Disney fucking sucks, you know." Like what is the, because I was covering, basically a bit of context, I was covering the Imperial Palace of
Oh, okay.
Coruscant. And in that video, I mentioned that there is a Legends variation, which is a lot different from the canon variation.
I
But
was gonna
then that
say
guy basically,
is that the most viewed video on your channel? I believe.
yes, that is
Yeah.
the most viewed video on my channel for some reason.
Yeah. Only part one though.
Only
Saying
part
that,
one,
part two did pretty good as well, but part one
it
is
did
like
alright.
way
Yeah,
above.
that video is still an enigma to me today. It was like my fourth
Oh yeah.
video, and yeah.
Yeah.
I know you had that yourself
Yeah,
recently.
I had that myself recently. The DMC6 video.
DMC6
That's
video,
now sitting
yeah.
at. Let me quickly look. That's now sitting at a solid 21.6 thousand views, and I don't
Wow.
fucking understand why. Like, again, numbers as of recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't fucking get it. Like, why
Strange.
all of a sudden, like, one video just goes, yeah, I'm just gonna feed the algorithm perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but so this guy came in, like, bashing, like, Disney and shit?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it sort of had the snarkiness, or like
Hmm.
the sort of, he didn't say it, but he implied that, like, oh, why am I covering this. It was like
Yeah,
a
why?
one-off comment,
why
you
would you?
know.
Yeah, why would you cover this? Because it's Disney.
I do agree. I myself, I'm not the biggest Disney fan. I don't
No,
really like
I
them. I've
didn't. I
gotten to
didn't
the point
particularly.
where,
I didn't enjoy the sequels when I went and saw them.
yeah, I've
In
gotten to
fact,
a point.
I went and seen. I think it was the last one with a
Yeah, Rise
friend.
of Skywalker.
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker. I went and watched that with a friend, and
Mm,
not spoiling anything for those who have not seen the movie, but that ending.
you're not missing anything.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. And also, me and my friend at the exact same time at the ending, when one character says that their name is a particular name, the two of us at the exact same moment to each other turned and went, "Fuck off." Instantly. The Don't get me wrong, like the prequels are not much better.
Yeah,
But
I like them though. I like
yeah,
them.
I think the prequels are like, I think Revenge of the Sith is like the best out of the three. And I think a lot of casuals kind of hold that opinion in
Yeah.
terms of the prequels. Because I mean, even now casuals are aware of like original prequel sequels. Like even that, I think is pretty common.
Casual was too strong of a word, I think. Mm,
So
but
it's
casual connoisseurs of the Star Wars.
casual connoisseurs.
Connoisseurs.
Yeah, but it's that kind of thing of like, I don't particularly, again, for the sake of clarity, I don't particularly like the sequel trilogy. I didn't think it was that well written, and I thought that there were a lot of storylines that just kind of went nowhere.
Yeah.
Like fucking Finn, honestly, what an absolute shot in the fucking foot.
Yeah.
Like that character, I feel like that character had like the most potential story in the whole thing, and they just fucked him out in the second
He should
film.
have been
Basically,
the main character, if you ask me.
I think he should have. Yeah, I think it should have focused on him because he had like a nice, relatable story.
Yeah, and it was different,
the whole
you know.
like, like the someone brainwashed from birth, like to do one thing, and then they realize that what they've been doing, they've been working for the bad guys and stuff.
Yeah.
What they've been doing is not right. They realize they've been indoctrinated. That could have been such like a nice emotional tale, which I think would have been perfect for Star Wars.
Yeah.
But they fucked him out.
Like I'm Ray. Ray. I'm Ray.
Yeah, like they basically fucked him out and made him a side character from movie 8 and then into movie 9 as well. He played even smaller role.
John Boyega, I'm now the main character.
In fairness, John Boyega has also criticised them afterwards.
Yeah.
And said like, like they would put me on the posters and stuff like that, and I was in the movie like a total of maybe an hour.
Yeah.
Or if even
Let's not even get started on the Chinese posters.
Yeah, let's just move on from that.
Cool.
So, do you have any particular like YouTube channels that you look up to or anything in terms of the content that you make?
No, I don't.
Not really?
No, not really.
Do you have any that sort of like, do you have any that were that you could say like acted as somewhat of an inspiration for kind of what you've done?
So there was this guy. There was a Star Wars YouTuber called.
There was this lad.
I think Geesleys. I think that's his name. Geesleys. Geesleys. Yeah, he did Star Wars lore stuff, and he was kind of like, I was watching him, and I'm like, I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
I could do this. I did it. So
the sheer fucking ego.
Thanks, Geesleys. Very much, yeah.
The sheer ego to look at someone else and go, I could do that.
Yeah, I took inspiration.
Yeah.
From him.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, not really.
Yeah.
If you want to call it that.
Sure.
I totally copied him.
So, I guess we'll move to your recent appearances on my channel. You've become rather prevalent.
Yes.
I will also say that we're going to talk about a video that isn't out yet, but this will be released, or it's not out yet as of recording.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time this comes out, it will be out.
Yeah.
So this podcast is going to take a while from recording date. Sorry.
It is a good video.
So,
It's a very good video.
but we'll talk about the ones you've been in so far, or at least, and
Yeah.
also the ones you've had influence over as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, your technically first appearance, um, your first appearance was DMC3,
Mm-hmm.
but that video was made second.
Yes.
So, but
Yes.
we'll talk about DMC3 because it was the first published collab that I had done.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of my reviews, I'd always done them solo, and I do you want to explain kind of what happened essentially?
So, I like Devil May Cry. In fact, I love Devil May Cry. It's my favorite game series ever.
No way, I could never tell. I had no
Yes,
idea.
yes, me neither. I had no idea that I love Devil May Cry.
Fuck's
So,
sake.
like, who would actually play that game? It sucks,
I
man.
know, who the fuck plays Capcom games, honestly?
Japanese games, I mean, like, so balls to the wall. It's absolutely absurdo.
Who plays games made by the Japanese, incoming Nintendo
Yeah.
fanboys?
Anyway, I like Devil May Cry.
Hmm.
One day, Ross was like, so by this point, Ross had already made like a review for DMC1.
Yeah, I had talked about
Where
Devil May Cry 1, and then before the DMC3 video went out, I made what is now the most popular, but we'll talk about that afterwards.
Yeah, and so I wouldn't shut up about Devil May Cry to
He
Ross.
fucking wouldn't. It was
Every
driving me
day
nuts.
I see Ross, I'm like, Ross, this is power, this is motivation. You know,
He
Judgment Cut in
he would just bring a lawn chair with him all the time. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, and yeah. So he was like, so he was basically continuing on the DMC free or the DMC series,
Yeah.
and it was going to do a review of free. And it was like, "You want to be in this video?" And I was like,
And I'll quite
"Well,
say
boy, do I absolutely!"
I had stopped after 1 because everyone had told me how awful DMC2 was,
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
and I would have covered them in chronological order.
Mm-hmm.
So, with everyone telling me how awful the second game was, I was like, I always put it off, and I would just like I worked on like in the
Yeah.
meantime of that, I went from DMC 1 and I went to I think God of War was the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, God of War, and then to Resi 0. And then I was like, okay. And by this point, I think I'd already started playing DMC3 in my own time
Yeah.
after you wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. And I got about halfway through the game and went, okay, I'm not vibing with this. And I was gonna just make a video based on that.
Yeah, this man.
But then you convinced me to keep going with it because when we started writing the script, you were talking about things that I didn't have footage of because they weren't in the first half of the game.
Okay.
So I essentially was like, okay, I'll finish the fucking thing at the very least. And then we sort of when we were, and then like I think it's a good enough game.
Yeah.
I thought it was hyped a little bit too much, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like the hype is what disappointed me almost. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily that the game itself was disappointing. It was that people build up this expectation of it that wasn't met. It's the same problem I had with Half-Life 2 when I tried to play that, is that people build up the hype of like, oh, it's one of the best games ever made. And from my perspective, it was like, no, like even with Half-Life 2, I was like, no, I've played games that are similar that have done more.
Yeah.
You know, but it's kind of that thing of like taking it as a product of its time. And
yeah,
like I say, DMC3 is like a fine enough game.
I think it's the best in the series.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
I put it up there. It's below a couple others that I think I personally just prefer to play, but it's certainly up there.
It is up there.
Mm.
It's It's very much up there. You can't even see it. It's in the stratosphere.
It's in the stratosphere like the fucking Clyfos tree.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so the script writing process for that was weird to start off with,
So.
because it's the first time that I had collaborated with someone else.
Mhm.
So the script, I think at times, like looking back on it, our points feel slightly disjointed.
Yeah, that's something that we have alleviated a
Mm-hmm.
bit in the newest video.
Yeah,
No spoiling, isn't?
in the 5 video we've alleviated that.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, but yeah, it was a bit disjointed. I
mhm.
kind of just barge in out of nowhere, and then
Yeah.
you kind of just come in out of nowhere.
I
Um,
think that opening of you barging in, like that kind
yeah,
of like the first way to introduce a collab is that it's not voluntary is kind of funny.
yeah.
I think. Uh, but
Just mysterious stranger in my
just
house.
this random fucking guy that's
Who's this
burst into my
guy?
video.
This silly Billy here.
But yeah, but like I say, I was essentially writing because I had the majority of my script finished, and I just said to you
Yeah,
like, okay, slot in wherever you feel it the most natural. But the problem
yeah.
was is that our points ended up feeling slightly disjointed because you were trying to fit your points around what I had already written.
What you'd already written.
So yeah, it led to this kind of weird, like this kind of weird disconnect between
Yeah,
our pieces, and
it
it
wa-
felt really weird.
it was a it was a worthwhile first attempt though.
Yeah,
That's what it
it's still
was.
I'm still happy with how the video turned out, but I do
Indeed.
think that our points could have been better put together if we had done what we done with 5 and we essentially wrote the script in tandem with each other rather than
Mm,
me writing the script and then you
yeah,
forcing your segments in like
yeah.
sort
I
of
I agree,
yeah.
my dude.
It just
I
worked out a lot
agree.
better.
Did
So
especially in the DMC5 video.
mhm.
Says
Like I say, so
especially.
then afterwards I made the DMC6 video,
Hmm.
where such a short little video as well. Just should there be a Devil May Cry 6? And I think it's that short length combined with the fact that it's a question
Yeah.
that has made it so popular in the algorithm and
It has
given
been
it
chosen and
it has been
touched.
chosen. But you did have an influence over that video because it was you that
Yeah.
kept that yeah, because you pushed me to play like the rest of the series
Oh
and
yeah,
shit. And because I wasn't gonna touch the rest of the series until I had like I think by that point I'd played DMC4 on my own. No,
yeah,
I played it with you in a call in
uh-huh,
like in spare time, and that was
yeah.
fine. And I was like, oh yeah, but I wasn't gonna play 5 until I was recording it. But then you said no,
Because
let's play through 5, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, play
I
through
was
that, and
making all
then
these stupid jokes and memes
yeah, and
about
I didn't
like
get it.
five. Yeah, I'm like, bro, you need to play five, my
Yeah,
guy. And it's like, you will love it.
so I
And you
played it.
did.
Yeah, I
It's
played it, and
great.
it's now like my fucking favorite in the series.
Yes,
Like I fucking
it's
love the game with a passion.
do be a
Um,
little absurd.
yeah, but then I made that video afterwards because I thought it was an interesting question. Like,
Hmm.
should this acclaimed game series that has been known for its ups and downs in quality, now that it's on a high, should it? And now that like the stories are sort of like in that sort of way, like I without delving into like the whole video again, I think 5 could act as a good stopping point if they decide to never make another one. Like it would still be satisfying.
You know
But
what they should
after
make? They
but
should make like
but
a
after reading
prequel for
the
Sparta.
after reading the comments, I can see where most of the fans want this to
Yes.
go. They
Yeah.
either want a sequel with Nero, or they want a prequel with Sparta, or they want a spin off with the ladies. Which hell yeah,
I
um,
mean,
I could see it.
I
I could see
don't
it happening.
I don't know why there's a whole incentive about passing the torch on in Nero. I
Yeah,
mean, like,
I think it's because of the thing of like it'll have to happen at some point.
I
I
mean,
think.
at some point, I mean, Dante and Virgil are still here. It's not
Yeah,
like,
they're still
mm,
there, but like
yeah,
from a gameplay perspective, I think at some point the torch may have to be passed because you can only do so much with their moveset before it becomes like almost impossible for newcomers to even grasp what's happening. And I say that as a newcomer. Like already DMC5 Dante can be a lot
Yeah. It's a
to
bit
like to
absurd,
practice
bit
with and
silly.
stuff. So I think that if they kept doing what they're doing and making it more and more
Moving
complicated,
houses.
then
Yeah.
like eventually you'll get to a point where he is no longer like the casuals can no longer keep up. And
Yes.
then in that sense I would even say like you could do what they've kind of done with Virgil with Dante, that like maybe it's a Nero game but he's like an unlockable after the campaign.
Yeah. Also, by the way, sorry if you hear any noise in the background.
Yeah.
It's just people in my house.
It's all good. So
Cool.
then moving on from there, you're also in the Dishonored video. You're not part of the review, but you're in it.
I made a cameo on that one,
Yeah,
yeah.
you made a cameo, which was
Because
hilarious.
we
Because my videos have got no lore to them whatsoever.
no, pretty
So
much.
like although they're starting to have a little bit of a story going on.
You did do like a collab with
I did a
Fake
collab
Chibi in that one.
with Sheeb in that, yeah.
Yeah, Sheep, however you pronounce it.
Sheeb cut in for like one line and then was
Yeah, one
resorted
line.
to signs because that's what they wanted, which
yeah.
simply just because of time restraints and yeah, that kind of stuff. It's a really good video. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. She's like the Dishonored person, isn't she?
Sheeb is the Dishonored person to talk
The
to.
Dishonored person.
In fact, Sheeb is working on. I don't want to like step on their heels or anything, but they are working on a really fucking big Dishonored project, and it's shaping up to be an absolute doozy.
It's going to be a banger.
But yeah, so you made a cameo in that.
I did
in the intro for that, where you play the quote guard.
I play the quote unquote guard, and I get stabbed. So that was
you get stabbed and get to punch me in the face.
I get to punch you, yes. So
let's quickly just talk about the filming of that one particular shot because it's so fucking hilarious. We essentially we had to stand the camera in front of you.
Yeah.
Have you put your arm out in exactly the right spot so that it lined up with as if you hit me in the face? Because to ruin the magic for all of you, he didn't actually punch me in the face. I know it's a disappointment. I know it's a disappointment to hear that I wasn't actually smacked in the face for a video, but I'm not willing to risk losing my beauty for the sake of a YouTube video. Okay,
your beauty.
Yeah, my beauty. Fuck you. So yeah. So the hit noise is done in post.
Yeah.
Because there was no impact.
The corridor that we were shooting in was actually really narrow, and to ruin the magic again, when we turn around to face Ross, they are actually two separate corridors.
Yeah, there's two corridors in that video. I think I think some people might be able to tell if you look closely. You can kind of tell that the corridors are a little different, but overall, like they matched well enough. And all we really needed was a wall. So, but yeah, oh my god, it was a fucking hilarious time to try and film it. And that fall, by the way, that I did, I actually just took the fall. We had no
the L.
Like we have no crash mats or anything like that
at
our disposal. So I had to do my own stunt work and just fall onto a hard floor. And
do my own stunt work.
And like the fucking grunt and everything that you hear of me, like when the word like Dishonored comes up, and I'm just on the ground just going, fuck, that's real. That's genuine. That's not me hammed. That's not even hammed up for the camera. That just genuinely fucking hurt.
Yeah. So the only person he hurt was himself.
I know. Yeah. I was the only victim of my shoot.
Oh, speaking of the DMC3 video, I also did my own stunt work when you shot me.
Yeah, you did. Oh my fucking god, that was so funny. Again, you sent me like the obviously I had to get the raw take, and afterwards it's just like do you want to explain the process of that one? Because I wasn't there.
The way I was sitting is I basically had the camera set up on my bed. essentially. I was sitting at my desk where my PC was, and I basically just had a stool, and by this to my, I think it was to my left, yeah. When
Yeah.
from where I'm facing to my left, I just stuck a bunch of pillows and like um a quilt
Yeah.
cover, a duvet down there,
Mm.
and I basically just said my line and just fell off the chair into the pile of pillows. Essentially,
You were dedicated, but it worked.
it worked. Yeah,
And then I added in like the blur and the blood effect afterwards because
yeah,
it looked really nice when it was done.
yeah.
So yeah, that that was like, I think that's the best part of that whole video, to be honest, is
Mhm.
the edit of you saying your line. Suddenly a gunshot goes off. There's blood on the lens, supposedly. You
Yeah,
fall, and then
supposedly.
it just cuts to me holding one of Dante's handguns. I think it was
Yeah,
Ebony I was holding.
yeah.
And it just cuts to that and me looking menacingly at the lens, putting it down, and then just give me a little smile as if to say, like, that's
Going
that
back
dealt
to the
with,
commentary.
and
Yeah,
just going back. But I mean, that was born out of the fact that we didn't know how to get you out of the video.
yeah. Pretty much. I just said like,
Yeah.
just kill me. Just shoot me.
Was it you that came up with that?
I think it might have been you. I think we
I
might
think it
have
might have
like
been me.
resonated on
Yeah,
like
I think we both kind of agreed on just like, we're gonna have to kill you. And then
I don't
again,
get killed in the sixth video. Yeah.
we make callbacks to that in the 5 video as well. There's a
The five.
callback. So yeah, but the Disarmed one, like, yeah, we've both done our own stunts and shit because we work on
Stunt.
a budget of nothing.
Stunt. Sure.
Yeah, quote unquote stunts.
Quote unquote stunts. Yeah.
But yeah. So next video I'll talk about is
Mhm.
the reboot video that I did. You
Yes.
weren't actually involved in this, so I'm not actually going to talk about much of the video itself. But what I will talk about is the impact of that video, because until I was like finished with the game and playing through it and stuff like that, and then like getting footage for the video, it wasn't until after I'd finished it that you had not played the reboot at all.
So
Again, simply by
yeah.
reputation, you'd
I
not played it.
yeah. It never reboot never interested me. It never
Mm.
looked like I wanted to play it.
Yeah.
So then I was sitting
Meanwhile,
on this.
as some people may know who either know me in real life or understand or have seen like occasionally an odd video of mine, I have a fascination with mixed reviews, because if something comes out and it's mixed, or if someone says this thing is bad, I'm instantly curious
Yeah.
and I want to see
So
what's going on.
I I was sitting in the Discord call with you. I was watching you play, and I was like,
I don't
"Oh
think
my
you
god!"
were. I don't think you were there when I was
Was
playing
there?
it. No, you weren't.
Whatever.
I texted you afterwards. That's what it was.
Oh right, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'll play it,"
Yeah,
and then
I
I
texted you
bought it.
afterwards basically going, look, this thing is not as bad as the internet has made it seem. Actually give it a go for yourself. So you bought it.
And I
You got the
did.
better
Yeah,
version as well.
I got the
You got
definitive edition.
you got
Yes.
definitive. I had to play the base game.
And no, I
It's
didn't. I
yeah,
didn't gel with it.
yeah.
It's an
Although,
acquired taste.
was it as bad as everyone else
Better than
said?
two.
Boom.
Better than two.
That's not difficult. I think it's better than what people give it credit for.
Coming
Like-
as someone who's played both Dante and Lucia's campaign fully in two,
Yeah.
reboot better, but not that
Mhm.
much.
I think people give the reboot a lot of shit, and I don't think all of
Fair
it is
enough.
fully deserved, because there
Yeah.
are some positive elements in it if you
Mm.
look in the right places and go in with the correct. I think it's about mindset. To be honest, if you go in with the right mindset, you can actually find some things about it that are like, oh yeah, this is actually pretty good. And plus,
Fair enough.
some of the additions that they made to Definitive, I'd actually probably enjoy as well. Unfortunately, I have to mod those in because
Yes.
Definitive Edition isn't fucking on PC for whatever
That's
reason.
rough, Chief.
For whatever reason, they
That's
decide, hey, you know, this better version of this game. Let's only put it on console.
No, right? It's crazy.
So then you also had influence over the Devil May Cry 2 video,
Oh
because
yeah.
you actually made me sit down and fucking play the thing.
Oh yeah. I was like, Ross, you should play
So
this game. It's great.
no, do you know what it was? It was I remember this because we made a deal when I was playing 3, and it was that if you played, or when I was playing 3 or 4, we said, okay, if you play the reboot ever,
Uh-huh.
I'll play 2.
I did.
So he played the reboot, he finished it within like a couple days. So I had to play
Pretty
2.
much. And
And
he loved it. He thought it was great.
it's a piece of shit, and I never want to touch it again.
Uh,
I literally I played through about an hour and a half, I think, and I never want to see the fucking thing ever again. Never
Tell me
mind,
about it.
like never mind the other fucking character. Like I hated Dante's gameplay. And from watching the Sphere Hunters video yesterday, talking about DMC2, which I'd seen before but I hadn't fully taken in. Now going back and watching that again, like yeah, I don't think I want to touch that again. Ever. I'm done with it.
Yeah. You didn't
So
get that far in it.
yeah, I've never been so bored playing a game. Like I've played games that I thought were boring. I've played like Rust and things like that. I've played like The Forest. Survival games don't really interest me. I've played, I've played the majority of the Call of Duty campaigns from like 4 onwards.
Yep.
And this Devil May Cry 2 just bored me to fucking tears.
It's
like
a little bit silly.
I've sat through Call of Duty Ghosts and didn't feel as bored as DMC2. Like that's when you know you fucked it up.
Yeah.
That's when you know you fucked up your game, when Call of Duty Ghosts isn't as boring.
God, when was the last time I played Call of Duty Ghosts? Years ago
when
now.
it came out.
Yeah.
Because no
Remember
one
there was a
fucking
dog
played
in that
it.
game.
Yeah, Riley. The absolute
yeah.
legend. So, and then from there we'll talk about the 4 video, which you were there for when I edited. And
Yeah.
you were actively pissing yourself laughing as I was editing it.
Yeah.
And I think
So
that's one of my favourites.
the only editing thing I asked for was when Dante was like, "Adios, kid," and disappeared. And I was like, "Oh, you should make him disappear." I was like, "You did that?"
Yeah, that was your input on actual stuff, but like everything else was essentially just me and you just going, "Yeah, fuck it, why not?"
Yeah. Very much.
But like I've started doing this recently where like I send my edits work in progress to other people, and like I send scripts to other people and stuff just to see it bounce off someone else.
Yeah.
Because it's always helpful to get someone else's perspective because they can think on things that I wouldn't because I'm way too deep into the script.
Deep in.
Or like I know, or like I don't fully explain something because I know what it is, but then someone asks me afterwards, like, "The fuck is that? Like, can you explain that more?"
You provide a fresh perspective.
But yeah, one of the interesting things is I find about this stuff is that I've brought you in to do something that you don't actually really do on your channel. As you said earlier, like you're a lore explanation channel.
I mean, I've done like 2 reviews on my YouTube channel, and they're some of the worst performing videos I've ever had. But like, yeah, I've never done a game of review before, so I have. So that was an experience and a half. But I'm not really the one reviewing it. I'm just providing, points.
You're providing extra points as
Pretty
well
much,
as taking some of the things off of me that I can't be fucked talking about.
Pretty
like,
much,
again,
yeah.
in DMC5, like you took V's stuff because I fucking don't like that character. So,
I like V.
So you were better to explain that because you don't have that vitriol for him. Meanwhile, my explanation of V would have been way more half-arsed.
Yeah.
Because it's not a positive experience for me, so I wouldn't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
V is
to me is a necessary evil.
I don't think he's an evil.
Well, he's not an evil.
Different.
That's a bit, yeah. It's different, and it's not a gameplay style that I particularly enjoy. As much as, other people might, I don't get it.
If you like tower defense, then yeah.
Yeah, I've never been one for tower defense, so no thanks.
Walking tower defense.
Walking tower defense.
Tower defense on the move.
But yeah,
Or skinny little twink defense.
bruh. I guess there's one of your videos I actually want to discuss because it very much stands out
Okay.
among the rest.
Okay.
Because all of your stuff kind of, if you look at it, it looks somewhat consistent.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
there's your General Grievous video.
Ah. Yeah. What
Yeah.
do I know about it?
I want to know what went into it. For the context of everyone else, by the way, it's a General Grievous cosplay of the version of like what is it, like the 2D version of Clone Wars?
So before the 3D animated Clone Wars series, the animator, the Russian animator, I think he's Russian, Gendy Tarakovsky, I think his name is,
I don't know.
animated a Clone Wars series in 2003.
Yeah.
Which is now Legends materials.
Because it's not canon.
Yeah. Grievous in that was absolutely on something. Probably Death Sticks. So I was like, that's cool. I'm gonna cosplay him, and I spent a year and a half building a Grievous cosplay.
It looks really fucking good.
It's fine.
Like straight up.
It's got issues. It's not perfect.
I have heard you talk about the issues with it.
Yeah, I've had a couple of issues with it.
Would you like to go into some of the issues?
So, that was my first time building a cosplay. I don't know why I chose Grievous for the first time, but I
Fucking
did.
jumping in at the deep end.
Jumping in at the deep end, pretty much, yeah. Normally, most people, when they start out with cosplay, they pick something simple like Spider-Man or Robin or
things that are not necessarily easily available, but easy to create.
Something that's easy to create, like say a casually dressed anime character.
Hey.
So I like doing DIY stuff. So I thought, I will utilize the stuff that I've learned on YouTube to craft this big man. And he's basically made out of EVA foam and things like that. And one of the main problems I had was with the old. Originally I made a first chest piece, like a chest sort of. Yeah, a sort of breastplate. It was made out of foam, and it was way too small. And every time when I went to paint it and put it on, the paint just went and cracked.
Oh fuck!
So it did. So there were these massive, giant cracks. The cosplay, it wasn't broken. It was the paint on the surface which was flexing. So essentially, that caused it to crack. So I fixed that, and I made a new one. Obviously I can't alleviate flex cracking completely, so it's a necessary evil that I put up with. And just there, I actually took it to a con last year. I took it to Comic-Con last year. Surprisingly, it held up pretty damn well. I think only one part broke, but it wasn't like a catastrophic breaking. It was something that could be very easily fixed. It was basically the feet and the toes because, well, let's just say I didn't have the best, they're called cosplay handlers. I didn't have the best of those that day, shall we say. Not disclosing any names. They were running off and I'm like sluggish in the giant foam sarcophagus. I'm like, I can hardly keep up.
Sorry, giant foam sarcophagus is a great description of a cosplay.
What it is. It's a giant foam sarcophagus. I mean, I cannot walk normally. I cannot breathe. I can't breathe. I
was gonna say, how the fuck did you last like a day without breathing?
I only lasted like 2 hours, and then the actual convention. The convention went on for a whole day. I only lasted 2 hours. But yeah, I went back to family member who was sitting down somewhere, And basically, the way the feet work is just big, massive toes that stick out, and one of them caught on the chair and basically sort of split the foot wide open and took one of the toes off. But it was an easy fix. So
Yeah.
I learned from that and I reinforced it. So that was fun.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, my shoulders were in pain and suffering
In pain.
by the end of it.
That's
I
fair.
probably would not take him to that specific con that I went to last year. I'd probably do something that's a bit more local. But yeah, now if I'm going down that convention, I've got another cosplay now, which is so much more comfortable. You have no idea.
Yeah, it is. I imagine that it's way more comfortable given the fact that it's at least somewhat normal clothes.
It's essentially just some pants, some boots,
Yeah.
a vest, and a jacket,
Mm-hmm.
and the wig, some makeup, no sword.
Yeah. So going on to the next sort of topic is obviously you're quite consistent right now with like what you cover on your channel.
Yeah.
Like the
I
types
try
of
to-
topics and stuff like that. Have you
Yeah.
like are there any plans for the future of like trying to expand into other things or to talk about other subjects to do with Star Wars? Or even like anything else? Like for example, like is there any possibility of talking like about any of the Star Wars games or things like that? Because I know there's quite a few of them.
I've kind of built up a brand. If that's what you would call it, a brand.
Yeah.
I've kind of built up one of those. So I've tried, but I will most likely keep trying to do like TV show reviews. Sometime, maybe when the Mandalorian season 3 comes to an end, I will probably try to review that in some capacity. But yeah, no, I have never really covered any of the games. Probably because I don't have the means really to cover the games. It's all of the stuff. I've got a PlayStation. I don't really have any of the Star Wars games on my PC, so yeah. I don't want to buy like a several hundred million billion pound capture card just to.
That's fair.
Get into the PlayStation.
Capture cards are fucking stupidly expensive.
Tell me about it.
Like
guy.
Elgato stuff is like ranging between like at least 150 and like 300 quid for a decent one.
Yeah, no, after spending money on a 700 quid cosplay, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, nah, I don't think so. That's fair. I don't really have anything like any other questions or anything about YouTube and stuff like that. So is there anything else that you can like think of to talk about? Like anything else you want to mention in particular to do with YouTube or anything at all, really?
So let's talk about us as people, shall we?
Oh,
who are we? Who am I? Who are you, Ross?
Who are you, truly?
Who am I?
Deep inside.
My name is... Never mind, actually. I'm not gonna say that.
You're just gonna be like, okay, here's my name, my address, my national insurance number. Here's my bank details.
My bank details.
Go steal my identity.
Identity theft.
No, so I don't really talk about it much on YouTube and stuff. I talked about it on the podcast a couple times. That I am actually a film student, and that's
that's how we are film students.
That's how we met. Yeah, we're film students.
Much.
We're those fucking people.
The stupid idiots, man.
We're those fuckers that walk about going, yes, I know things about cameras and editing and lighting setups. Fuck you.
Oh, this is how you adjust the ISO. Like, just put it on the tripod. Like, bro.
Right, stop calling me out, okay? Fuck you.
My name is Roscoe M Studios. I turn the camera on.
Although I do think it's helped. I do think it's helped a lot with my YouTube stuff. My production value has gone up immensely since I started doing the course and stuff. And I hope that people can see it. That the videos now take longer for a fucking start. Like, despite the fact that like all the reviews from like three up and from DMC3 to DMC4 have been coming out like semi. I think they've been coming out weekly. Like,
Yeah.
despite that, those videos have taken like a good couple weeks each. And generally, like, that's how long these things take. They do take like a couple weeks, if not months, to create. Like, I know that my Resi 6 one took, I think it was about 5 or 6 months
Mm-hmm.
we took to do that video.
Yeah.
But that was more through procrastination though, rather than
Yeah. The thing is, that time in as film students is coming to an end.
yeah.
It is. We're
We're heading out into the real world, the real
big,
scary place,
real world.
the big
Yes.
scary place.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I've been editing.
Mhm.
If you go back and look at like my first video and look at the stuff that I'm making now, just like 50 videos ago,
Yeah.
over 50 videos ago, it's like whoa.
Yeah.
No, it's like
I see it a lot in myself. The fact that like I'm now, I think, nearly 500 videos in.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong, not all of them are bangers.
Yeah.
Like, there are a lot of those are honestly like I wouldn't actually watch a lot of them. But now I think I'm a lot happier with my quality, and I still want it to be higher.
So, would you ever aspire to do YouTube as a
Full time?
Yeah, or even part time, I suppose.
Part time, yes, I could do, because don't get me wrong, as awesome as it would be to do YouTube full time, and for this to be a job,
yeah,
it is even less stable than the film industry that we are both going into. Like, it's even it's even less stable.
Yeah,
like the film industry and stuff like that, and being like, for example, in my case, being a cameraman, there's always something that you can do. Essentially, there's always someone who needs something filmed or photos taken and stuff like that. You know, there's always a company looking for social media stuff and things like that. And YouTube, I think, is just a little bit too shaky for my liking. But if I could do that in tandem with being a cameraman, like, yeah, definitely, I'd love it.
Yeah, it would be good.
And I do hope to keep it. By the way, I do hope to keep it going. It may just become even less frequent. And more a thing of like a video. I may take longer on a video, but the video will be better, I'd hope. And I work on it in my free time.
So I'm not sure if you talked about this, but like some of the work we've produced on this course is.
I've not really delved into the course at all. I sort of just generally mentioned that it happens, but yeah, some of the stuff we do is like really fucking interesting.
We make documentaries,
music videos.
Pretty much, yeah.
Working on stuff for like local groups, or I think we're starting to move into some corporate stuff as well.
Yep.
Which corporate, it sounds awful, but sometimes it can actually be really interesting. Like when you say the word, immediately people like fucking recoil, just like, ugh, corporate work.
Think of like the cyberpunk,
I think a lot of people instantly go into like, oh, you're shilling out for companies now.
Yeah,
it's like
they think of like suits and executives and CEOs.
Yeah, the thing is, I have to. Like, it's a necessary evil that I have to shill myself out to companies. I mean, like even on YouTube, like people can't escape that shit. Like, how many YouTubers do you know that to make the type of content they make, they need sponsors? It's not an option anymore. Like, they cannot do it off of ad revenue.
Yeah. Tell everyone about Joffrey.
Oh, Joffrey? So Joffrey is in this video, actually, down the corner.
Right there.
Joffrey was a screenshot taken of me when my hair was ever so slightly longer, and it was when I used to tie my hair back. I don't think you actually know this part. So I used to be able to tie my hair back in ponytail, whatever, and I took it
Oh.
down one day, and it just sat in a particular way that almost like a Lord Farquaad type cut. And and my friend and Alan's been on the podcast before. He took a screenshot of it, and we just named it Joffrey.
Joffrey.
Like, I don't know where it came from. I think it was Alan. He just went, "Ah, it's Joffrey," and now like Joffrey has become like a channel meme essentially.
Yeah.
Like within my community of people that I talk to, like Joffrey is a fucking joke. But what essentially happened was one day you were talking to me because your documentary was about D&D.
Yes, my student documentary was about Dungeons and Dragons because, believe it or not, I'm a huge nerd. As if you couldn't tell,
As if
I
we
like
couldn't tell. Devil May
Dungeons
Cry,
and Dragons.
Star Wars, and Dungeons and Dragons. My man's hitting all the nerd.
Yeah, don't
quota
forget
here.
space travel as well. I love
Space travel. There you go. So
Yeah.
basically, we were working on that, and I got this idea in my head that I was gonna go on the D&D website and make a character, but rip the fucking piss with it. I would absolutely rip it.
Yes,
Not take it seriously at all. So I turned Joffrey. So no, I wasn't. I did it in my free time and brought it in. So I did like the whole thing on the D&D website and turned Joffrey into this awful fucking character.
It's like the
Who
worst
is
stats ever.
he's like a gnome. Yeah. I actually worked this out with a
Rock
friend. Joffrey's stats are so fucked that he could cast a healing spell and it would damage everyone in the party.
Oh my god.
Like, that's how fucked his stats are. Also, he could roll a 20 and still miss. Like, he could roll the maximum amount and still fuck it up. Like, and I think that's a great character to have. But yeah, it's essentially now my joke meme on the channel / D&D character. That I am never probably going to use because I've never played D&D, and yeah, I'm probably never. It's unlikely that I'm going to in the near future. So Joffrey will probably just be here. Yeah,
He's always going to be.
I don't think I have one, the attention span, and two, I cannot take anything seriously. I can't take it seriously enough to do it.
You get serious and unserious D&D games.
The thing is, everybody always wants to do a serious campaign. Like, from what I can gather, a lot of people want to do serious campaigns. I couldn't
do like a comedy campaign.
Every campaign I would do would be a piss take because I would make funny shit happen.
Because a serious moment happens, like
like a really serious moment. Someone's dying on the ground, and Joffrey would just fucking turn around and just go. So when we go to the bar, like, can we do that, or is this like a bad time?
Do you guys remember the horse and the bar?
Do you guys remember?
The pub?
No, not only just the bar, not like the horse and the bar or anything. Do you guys remember the horse? Like, it's like, what horse? The horse from like 2 hours ago. Remember?
Oh,
it's like what? It's like what one? The one that we passed on the way here. Joffrey, we passed 5 horses. I know. But do you remember the horse?
The horse.
Yeah. It's like, I do dumb shit like that all the time.
Yeah.
That'd be the whole campaign, and I think that a dungeon master would very quickly get what's the word? Sick of my shit. And
depends on what dungeon master.
It would very much depend, yeah.
Kick you out.
So yeah, but but that's Joffrey. Joffrey is now an official thing, by the way. I don't think it's actually like a public thing on the D&D website. I don't think you can actually look him up, but he is on there.
Yeah.
He's now in their massive database of people that have made characters. It's just this awful fucking wizard gnome who's like a misogynist and all of this bullshit. Like, he's a total fucking piece of shit, essentially.
This would be, and it's great. You wouldn't even last a session with this character.
No, probably not.
It lasts like 5 minutes.
I think someone would kill Joffrey.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, given that he can roll a 20 and still fuck himself up, like, yeah. I think he would either end up dying by himself or someone else would be sick of his shit and murder him.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, that's Joffrey.
He is Joffrey.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's kind of everything covered. Thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
No problem. Long live the Empire and may the Force be with you. Catch me on my
Oh,
channel. Come
fuck
subscribe.
right off. So yeah, I wanna thank everyone for listening. I'm counting this as season 2 of Twat Talk
Really?
because because I've been gone for like 6 months or something. I'm gonna
Wow.
consider this the start of a second season.
Welcome to a new chapter. In
A
the
new
story,
chapter,
everyone.
yeah. It fucking
This
is a new
is
chapter.
the new beginnings.
Chapter
of-
1 it was mostly a solo thing. I'm hoping to get more people on. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll become a regular guest appearance. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Have you got Sheep on?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I think I've asked Sheep, but Sheep said no because
Ah.
they said like I don't know if I'm interesting enough for a podcast. Which everyone
Jesus.
is. I have a few ideas of people I want to get on. I just have to find the time and things like that.
Yes.
But yeah, so thank you to everyone for listening. Thank you to everyone on YouTube for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, please go check it out on Spotify and things like that. It would really mean a lot. And if you're listening on Spotify or whatever your podcasting service of choice may be, please go check out my YouTube channel. Go check out the Imperial Academy. Make some high quality shit.
Yeah, no, don't.
Shut the fuck up. Right. Make some good
stuff.
shit. So go check it out because the effort this man puts in for the little numbers.
Shut up.
Hey, you shut the fuck up. Right, for the amount of numbers this man has, the effort is insane. So please go look at his stuff if you're at all interested. But anyway, that's all from me, and I'll see you all next time.
Long live the Empire and may the Force be with you.
Goodbye.